Hi there, it's Nicole for Lawn Fun, and today I'm sharing 2 cards that feature a see-through window design using the mini picture frames dies and some Gotta Have Gingham pattern paper, as well as the Slow Down and Enjoy critters. What is amazing about these guys is there's a front and a back. Very much like the stamp set with the polar bear and reindeer from the holiday season, you can create really cute kind of interactive designs where there's a front and a back to these critters, so that you can do maybe a see-through type of card and have not only the adorable front of the critter but the back as well. From some of the gray Gotta Have Gingham pattern paper, I'm going to use a small stitch rectangle die and one of the mini picture frames to die cut my front panel from the pattern paper first. I'm going to go ahead and die cut these all with one pass of the machine since everything fits really good. So we're going to go ahead and discard any of the excess here. I am going to keep the little frame. I'll show you why here in a second. But real quick, I'm going to grab a top fold card base, kind of hold everything down with some temporary adhesive again, but use that mini picture frames die. I'm using the rectangle. There's also a square, an oval, and a circle. This just really fit. The 2 larger ones are going to work better for this design just because they fit better. But then I want to run the front of my card through my die cutting machine to die cut that window through the card front as well. Again, I'm just going to keep that little rectangle insert and use it for something else, but I'm going to keep the frame to stack up and really make my frame dimensional on the front of my card. So it's all going to kind of fit together like this. But the way to make it fit together is I need to sandwich a clear piece of acetate. I'm going to use the Judikins embossable window sheets. And I just have a scrap of it here, just big enough to fit behind the window. We're going to hide it and sandwich it between the pattern paper layer and the front of the card. And this is where all the magic's going to happen. I've also went ahead and off camera die cut 2 more frames from Storm Cloud cardstock, one for the front and one for the back. We're ready to line up this panel now with the front of the card. I'm just going to line that up with the window we die cut in the front. And then take a little liquid adhesive. I'm going to use the Ranger Multi-Matte Medium, and I'm going to stack those 3 layers one on top of another just for the front. The back of the card is actually only going to have the gray frame, but for this one, I'm just going to use all these layers. It really doesn't matter what they are. I just want to have a substantial frame that sticks up a little bit, and then that last one will go on the inside. So we'll come back to that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the rest of the elements so we can put the card all together. The elephant I stamped from the Slow Down and Enjoy stamp set. Off camera, I did the sloth from this stamp set as well. The actual coloring and everything is not as important in this particular card. It is important for the design, but this card is really more about the technique of creating this see-through window. So just color in those critters however you want. I left the elephant coloring in the video. I didn't even turn my camera on for the sloth. The card was created exactly the same with the exception of I used an oval frame instead of the rectangle. But everything else is exactly the same, right down to the design. Just switched up a greeting on the inside too, I think. So just coloring in this guy. I did do one little thing that is my favorite thing to do with these front and back critters, and that is from any Lawn Fawn stamp set that has a small heart image. I customized the little behind on the critter with a little heart because I think that's kind of funny. I don't know why I do that, but I love the little pop of color. I love the little heart icon. And so I really like adding that to the critters. They do not come with that. So there are heart images in so many of the Lawn Fawn stamp sets, or probably other stamp sets you have. If you like something similar, I think little stars would be cute too. Whatever you want to do there. Once I have those critters all colored in the way I want them to look, I'm going to use the coordinating Slow Down and Enjoy dies to die cut these. Now there's coordinating dies plus there's bookmarks. We want to use the coordinating dies for these little guys today. We're also going to be using all of the greetings that come from, or a couple of the greetings, several of the greetings from the Slow Down and Joy stamp set. So here's kind of what it's going to look like. That elephant's going to be tucked down there inside the frame, and then we'll work on the inside here in a minute. So let's go ahead and now adhere the frames. I'm just running a thin line of glue onto that acetate, placing the gingham border, the white die cut border, and then a gray frame. Again, you wouldn't have to add all of these layers if you don't want to. This just gives a little bit more of a substantial frame than inlaying the gray frame inside this little die cut opening. Next, we want to tuck the elephant inside that frame, and you can see it's going to be see-through then from around him to the inside of the card. I die cut the little picture frame holder from the Mini Picture Frames die collection from Storm Cloud Cardstock, and then I decided to do a little ribbon holder up at the top, die cut from Chili Pepper Cardstock. This is really basically about it for the front of the frame. Let's go ahead and flip that over. Go ahead and adhere the inside frame piece, in which we're just inlaying, but you can see the Copic marker coloring through that critter. This is where it's so awesome. There's a front and a back. We're just going to pop that little guy right on there. And how cute is that? So when you open up the card, you have this adorable elephant on the front. When you pop it open, you're going to see his little behind. Really, really cute and so much fun. I love these. I really hope that Lawn Fawn comes out with more of these because I love them so much. I'm going to take a white pen and add some fun little highlight detail. I did this for both the elephant and the sloth. Don't forget to do the inside as well. I did not show that on camera, but you want to make sure you do the little back end of each critter as well. Now, I needed something to ground my sentiment. I could have just stamped it right below the mini picture frame, but I really felt like I needed something else on the front of the card. These are pretty simple cards, really, once you kind of get the construction of that window down. But I thought a banner would be fun. So I'm taking the previously released BANNERTASTIC stamp set, and I am going to stamp this with Storm Cloud ink. For the gray elephant card, I used a combination of Narwhal and Manatee inks. The main portion of the banner is Manatee, and then I used Manatee for the two little folded areas. You can see those solid images that come with this, and I felt like it was a little too light, so I went ahead and did Narwhal over that. I think it darkened it a little bit, but as the ink dries, I don't think that you get that great contrast that you see here when the ink is still wet. If I did it again, I would probably use something a little bit darker. Then I want to stamp my sentiment. The thing about these banners is they've got nice movement and motion. So if you stamp the greeting flat, I think you lose some of that. What I like to do is use a stamp positioner tool like the Misty. You could use the Tim Holtz stamp platform. I've used that for this as well. And I like to lay it kind of where I think the center of it's going to go, and I lay it out flat, and then I just gently bend it to fit that shape a little bit better. I stamped that with some jet black ink right on that banner. I think it makes the banners look so professional because of those solid images that you can use to customize the banners. It really looks amazing stamped with solid ink. Go ahead and die cut that, and then we're going to pop that on the front of the card using foam adhesive squares. Almost like the little critter, whether it's the elephant or the sloth, is holding that banner. Isn't that cute? And it says hang in there because he's hanging through that picture frame window. So cute. I almost imagine it like a little see-through window on a wall and he's just peeking through. Hang in there, and then you can customize it with one of the other greetings on the inside of the card. Now keep in mind that you want to stamp whatever you're going to do on the inside low enough that you can't see it through that window. So I'm going to kind of double check to make sure that's going to be hidden where I think I want to put the sentiment, "You've got this." My greeting will read, "Hang in there, you've got this." And I have it low enough. I'll stamp that with some black ink. One last little thing to really finish off this card design. And that is, I probably could have left it just like this, but I really felt like I needed to add a little bit more pop of color on the front of the card. So I decided to die cut the little heart die from the mini picture frames, which you can kind of use up at the top. In lieu of the ribbon I use, there's also a couple of little round circles that look kind of like a nail or something. But I die cut several of those from Chili Pepper cardstock and added those to the front of the card. So here is a little bit slower look again at the finished card. This is the elephant card that I just created. Exactly all the same steps, just switching up the inside greeting and the frame for the sloth card, and also that yellow gingham paper instead of gray. So I hope this has inspired you to maybe try a see-through card design. They're really fun, and these particular slow down and enjoy images, critter images, are perfect for double-sided or creating these awesome little guys. Thanks for joining me today for these 2 cards featuring new stamps and dies from Lawn Fawn. The supplies I used to create these cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Lawn Fawn stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.